Ahem. Okay, can anyone hear me right now? Can anyone hear me right now? Oops. Alright, anyways, guys, well, this is totally not expected. So, all of a sudden, in the last minute, I decided to make all of a sudden, a live stream on this YouTube channel for no reason, apparently, and I'm not sure if this mic is in a very good condition because, yeah, we are live indeed. So, before I'm gonna start, there is something wrong with my internet, and I'll be right back. Where is it? Anyways, let's talk about what is happening here lately. So, first off, over the past few days, about 2 days or so, I was scrolling around Twitter, scrolling around the news, and yes, I'm not kidding. My online anonymity is about to get cooked. By saying this, it means like the next time if you're trying to get yourself into the like social media platforms like Facebook or even Twitter or even Blue Sky or even YouTube, the one that you are currently watching right now, chances are you may actually a Malaysian who are watching this stream, or probably the entirety of the YouTube channel, because in case if you didn't know, let me show you what is going on here. So before that, I'm gonna switch to my, if I not believe the window capture, right? Well, I haven't get the window capture ready, so let's bring this thing in, and let's just say we should pop this thing in, because why not? Anyways, here we are. I think, is this the one? Oh yeah, definitely. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The day of reckoning is coming, and yeah, of course, a huge shout out to Soya Chinchao for reporting this news matter. And this came out just like 13 hours ago. No. Actually, it came out less than a few days ago. This has just been posted onto, ladies and gentlemen, the soyachinchao.com. So, anyways, let me read this headline for you. Under 16 social media ban. Malaysians must verify age using My Card or passport from 1st of June. What? Okay, let me repeat this again. So let me turn off this. I don't know this voodoo here. Let me turn off Discord for a few minutes before I can process this thing, because this is not going to looking good, guys. Under 16 social media ban, Malaysians must verify age using My Card or passport from 1st of June. Do you know what that means? This means from 1st of June, if you are Malaysian trying to open either Twitter 10 or Facebook or TikTok or even Threads or even Instagram or even Telegram, of course, maybe probably every single social media platforms, you may need a My Card to get into the internet. Do you know what that means? This means that usually if you are using Gmail and hooking in the password and adding some 2FAs and you're done. But now you need that My Card ID, which is the My Identification number, in order to get verified and get to the social media platforms, which is, I mean, it kind of sounds insane, right? Well, it's actually happening many countries across the world. Like, not only Malaysia, but in US probably, because they can do that. So let me read this, the rest of the article here. So, in less than 2 weeks, Malaysia will require social media users to verify their age using their official government-issued documents such as My Card or passports, as part of the new online safety measures aimed at protecting, well, you know, online. So yeah, here we are. The new requirement is expected to take effect on 1st of June 2026. That is about a week away, under the CPC and the RMC, introduced by Malaysia's Communication and Multimedia Commission, or its native name, Suruhanjaya Komunikasi dan Multimedia Malaysia, SKMM, or better known as the Malaysia's Communication and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, which is not to be confused with the medical certificate. So according to, okay, let me read the rest of the article. So according to Deputy Communications Minister Teo Chi Ning, social media platforms must implement mandatory age verification mechanisms to prevent users under 16 from opening a social media account. This would require users to verify their age using government-issued documents such as identity cards, which of course including the My Card, which is set to be redesigned next month, and of course passport and any other official documents. So she also added that if the age is merely self-declared, any user can simply click and claim that they are above 18 years old. I understand that. Hold on. Just a second. I understand that it is very important to protect anyone that is currently underage, but the thing is, in my opinion, it was the parents who were going to take care of it. Because me, myself, I mean, I never been like, I was really like getting into the social media accounts for like more than, if not more than a decade actually, and that is where my mental going down like quite a lot. But things are going differently now when I'm on Discord. And for Twitter, however, I haven't used Twitter until very recently, back in let's just say Twitter. Back in November of 2024, me and my friends on Discord pulled out of Twitter altogether, and that is because at that time I was a little bit concerned on that platform, because that platform might actually getting banned in the country. But so far, until to this very day, it did not happen at all. So and furthermore, the fact that I'm on the fact that Threads is now becoming the new Twitter, except it's actually 10 times worse because they kept talking about politics 24/7, is actually harming my mind. But I did it anyway, so I'm now currently locked off my Threads for a little bit until I decided to wipe every single post from Threads before I can able to jump back in and say, hello, this is me on Threads for real this time, and this is literally me in real life anyway. And I recently started reusing, if not resuming using Twitter 10, because this is more to a business decision, and it's not even say I want to go back in Threads and talk shit about everything. No, I'm not. Even though I would do that, I would literally putting a disclaimer and says, no, this is not meant to offending every single one on earth. Though I actually say I hate everyone equally and everything like that. So let's go back to the article once again. As you may see, let's go back to that one here. Come on, let's go back to this one. Alright, here it is. So now, the thing is, the MCMC, the Deputy Communications Minister has also said that, the MCMC has yet to determine a technology for age verification, because they didn't know which mechanism that they're gonna do to verifying this type of quote unquote this age verification for the access to the social media platforms. And as you can see here, this very photo thing, the very thing that I really disagree on is the My Digital ID. This is pretty much like a digital ID in the UK or probably any other countries around the world. And recently, if I kid you not, very recently, JPJ, which is the probably the roads commission thing. Here we are, from FMT. Recently, back in the start of the May, they actually implement My Digital ID as a sole app login since the start of May. And this means that in order to, renewing your driving license, or probably like paying some fines where you're doing some offense on the road, you have to get My Digital ID before you can get to the JPJ, the app called My JPJ, just to pay for the renewing of the driving license, or probably paying a fine for it. And they have been doing this right now, and I was kind of very afraid that what if in the future, if I wanted to get myself into the My Digital, if I wanted to get myself into this type of thing, well, I have to like get My Digital ID. Using My Digital ID just to log in for my like social media platforms. Like, come on, dude. I kind of don't really agree on that. So, yeah, welcome, Emilio. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very sensitive topic. So, let me read this thing here. So, interestingly, she said that MCMC has yet to prescribe any specific technology that platforms must use for the age verification process. So previously, My Digital ID has been proposed as a possible age-verified eKYC, also known as Electronic Know Your Customer platform, as it currently used across government services. And that's right, this includes mobile prepaid registrations. And which is not really surprising because, as me myself in real life, I need to tell you one thing. This IRL anonymity was already long gone right after they are requiring your, hold on a second. Well, your, let's just say your ID card just to register for a mobile prepaid cellular phone number, because for very obvious reasons they are kind of afraid of people misusing this mobile number just for spams and something like that, because, well, me myself included, getting a lot of spam calls lately, and I'm kind of very tired of that. Is this because somebody has actually registered for a business, and that business is called scamming, and they decided to, sending 1,000 SMSs or maybe robocalls where they tell you got something for free and something like that, Like, for it, there is one instance where someone has intent to pull out of the telecommunications, like, let's say, porting out from a carrier to another carrier, but that carrier desperately trying to get you to stay by offering you a cheaper plan with the same amount of value. Like, we will give you unlimited data and we pay you some, and you just have to pay half the price. And the customer says, no, I wanted to switch to another carrier, but they have been doing this same exact request, like probably around 3 times, and it still kept denied for no reason. And this is like a very tricky move from every single carrier, and this is why until to this very day, I have no postpaid number. I only have the prepaid number. So anyways, let me do a little bit of a pause for a bit, because as I'm going to say right now, it's like 1 a.m. for me, and yeah, I just got myself into all the stuff right now. So let me read the rest of it here. So it is saying, like, come on, dude. Alright, anyways, let me read the rest of the article here. So The deputy minister said that the government will provide a reasonable time frame for social media platforms to implement the necessary age verification process for existing accounts before enforcement action is taken. This comes after engaging with social media platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So she said that users who failed to complete that verification process may have their accounts closed, and social media platforms may use AI to determine if the user is age 16 years and above. So here it is undeniably here. This is the paragraph that is actually shown here. Malaysia's stricter approach towards online safety, quote unquote online safety actually, comes as several countries globally move to tighten protections for minors on social media platforms. So Australia previously introduced restrictions for users under 16, while Indonesia, the shield of Southeast Asia, ladies and gentlemen, has also begun implementing social media restrictions for minors this year. So here we are. This is the main concern here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main concern. Move raises concerns about privacy and freedom of expression. Yes, that is undeniably. Like recently, we see a lot of politicians in specifically my home state, not in KOFT, but let's say outside of KOFT, we call it Selangor. We have seen some of the politicians literally crying about they can't farm for bacon because, like, they are disrespecting the royalty and essentially say, let's just say they said decree prepared to be ignored kind of behavior. And this is something that I don't really accept, because this, we have Rukun Negara here. We have like the nation's oath here. You have to respect the decree that they have been saying. But that will be another, like some kind of a live stream where I'm going to talking about the local news and all the stuff. Because why not? Because I'm currently like on the way to pivoting myself from beyond the gaming streaming, because I'll talk about that later. So here, let me read the rest of the article here. So the proposed move has also raised privacy and digital rights concerns among civil society organizations and policy researchers here in Malaysia. Back in April, Article 19 and over 70 Malaysian civil society groups urged the government to withdraw plans for a blanket under-16 social media ban, highlighting concerns that the mandatory age verifications using MyCard or passports could undermine privacy and freedom of expressions for both adults and, of course, the minors. So critics also warned that requiring users to submit government-issued identification documents to multiple online platforms could increase risk of involving personal data misuse, leaks, and surveillance. Some experts have also questioned the effectiveness of strict ID-based verifications, arguing that minors may still bypass restrictions using VPN or social media platforms. Let me repeat this sentence here. May bypass restrictions using VPNs, overseas accounts, or even alternative platforms, such as, ladies and gentlemen, behold, Blue Sky. I hope that MCMC is not gonna open this thing up, because so far very few number of Malaysians using this, and I hope that MCMC is not gonna interfere this quote unquote micro Twitter. But still, this is where I'm making a lot of posts here, even though I do use Twitter, but not as much as what is happening over there. So Yeah, it's kind of bit very very scary, you know. I'm not kidding though, because yeah, this is going to be a very dangerous move for Nagaraku, or should I say my country here, because if they do this, we will went from taking a few weeks to get docs to literal microseconds, because like back then you don't have to get a let's just say get a identification into the registry of a Gmail. But now, since the government still insist on doing this, not only they can just catch you for saying things that they don't like. Of course, I would talk about talk against the government. Nothing wrong with that, because I voted you guys for it, right? Make it make sense, folks. But what I didn't actually like is that you are trying to stifle the rights of the, let's just say, maybe whistleblowers, for instance. Like back then, if you were trying to whistleblowing about something, like let's just say calling out someone's action, and probably calling out a company for doing some sort of the, let's just say, malpractice. Like, yeah, you can get rewarded for that. But in the future, if this thing goes true, there's a high chance, in my opinion, there's a high chance where whistleblowers could instantly get doxxed because of that, because your ID, your info is literally inside that social media platform. So when they do, well, guess what? You can literally get attacked for calling out something. Like, we already seen a lot of cases like this before, and this type of thing could actually happen at least thousands-fold in terms of my opinion. So that is how I'm gonna talk about the ongoing situation here in my own country. So there you have it. That's the what is going on here in the glorious Nagaraku, because there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about after this. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk about what is the direction of this YouTube channel, because I know it's been a while. So let me do a little bit of a recap. So recently I got fired from my previous arcade center because somebody showed them true colors. Did you know that you can actually create an enemy for doing that? Like, bro, actions comes with consequences, and that consequences could actually getting delivered to you in any speeds, because why not? Yeah, certainly, why not, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna say this is not going to be, yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, originally, every single streams would end at the end of April, and before I'm gonna start with liquidation. But, thanks to myself getting a new job back in April, where I'm currently barely eating at a $400 monthly minimum wage, this means that there'll be no more new games coming up, and probably more of this. So, what I'm going to do to this YouTube channel then, pardon me, the noises on my phone, because I like my Deluxe. So, what I'm going to do after this, well, there'll be more of this type of content going to be coming up, where I'm going to talk about malicious stuff, you know, like for instance, Reecee Ramli, the now former Pandan Member Parliament, has left the PKR party because, you know, he has no faith with that party, and me myself included. Guess what? He has taken over a dormant party called Bersama. I'm going to talk about that very soon, and I'm probably going to seek some of my local content creators, which I'm already on Discord server, which is the one that who always say sepupu on his YouTube video, and I always wanted to approach Victor Dunn for probably a special commentary, probably a recurring commentary videos, as if how I'm always with my friends from two continents away. That is a really fun experience, not gonna lie. But I need to diversify myself. I cannot take every single eggs onto a single basket. I have to diversify myself, you know. I can't depend on making games, playing games just to do a living, you know, because why not? I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna take notes I'm gonna take notes from some of the YouTubers. Like for instance, we got Sir Musty, who do some reaction streams the whole time, or maybe sometimes Victor himself, who has a lot of much more new ones and more maybe much more deeper, let's just say deep cut take on certain topics. But me myself, I'm gonna keep an eye on my own boundaries, because you can't took a 3 hours on that. That's the fact. Because we are living in I'm literally living in a not so homogeneous nation, but more to a pluralistic nation here. Like we are living under the Star Spangled Banner, but with a moon and a 14-pointed sun that we always cherish every 31st of August. So what does this mean actually, folks? This means I may actually do more of the news commentary streams, like the one that you're currently watching right now, all of a sudden at the middle of the night, or probably in the middle of the Saturday afternoon in the two continents away, mate, who will come in here to watching us, probably doing some, let's just say, having some curiosity and gotta know what is happening to my glorious home country here, since we are kind of a bit safe for a little bit, as long as you don't touch our baseline. So yeah, there will be more of the stuff of the content very soon. So let's go for the bonus content, shall we? Let's go to the recent content stuff. As you may already know, my folks, you may heard of Kingdom Hearts being on Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not kidding. Well, here we are. Let's turn on the Switch 2, because, well, why not? Right? Let's turn on the Switch 2. We'll wait. Well, crap. I almost forgot that I forgot to, you know, plug in out the cable thing from the internet. Okay, I've just plugged it out, so let's plug in this. Okay, here we are. Alright, so here we are. Welcome to my own, let's just say, my own... Yep, that is my Switch 2. Yep, it's back up and running, as you can see here. Let's turn it on and see what is happening here. Unfortunately, not even TV is already up, so... Yeah, this kind of bit this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is an unscripted stream, you know? Any bad things could actually happen while we're live on air, so... Pardon me for a bit. There you are. That's my TV over here. That has been here since 2019 because somebody just discarded it. Lucky for us, we got a TV back there. So here we are. The blue screen is already there, and yep, the display is up. So anyways, let's talk about what is happening here, because yeah, this is my hold on a minute. Yeah, this is. I can't believe that Yoshi's in the Mysterious Book is here. Actually, it's $70 flagship game. That is stupid, right? Ah, just let me do some stuff. Let's just say Kingdom Hearts just got booted, right? Yes, it is true. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix. Cloud edition. I mean, yes, it's just the cloud version. Yep. Oh, well, you know, the demo is gone, right? And this is actually one of a diabolical kind of the let's just say Switch or Switch 2 games, because for very obvious reasons. This thing is in cloud, which means you have to hook into the internet and you have to play on it. If you think this is worse, this is actually another type of a worst type of the let's just say the game, the copy, you know. There's two things that I really hate. Actually, three: cloud, game key card, and a piece of paper inside of copy. These three things that I really hate. So I will definitely gonna do a video on that in the future, probably, since there's a lot of game key pingus on the on the game store lately, so definitely gonna make a video of that, right? So yeah, I hope, and I just heard that yes, the demo version of it is gone. So there's a high chance, folks. There's a high chance where, let's just say, this is the most accurate depiction of the Switch 2 version of the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 limits. This shit could actually come with game key pingus. Like, they say, oh, hooray, the Switch 2's hooray, Kingdom Hearts is coming to Switch 2. And until you found out that it's all game key pingus. Just like the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, my friends. Oh my god. Oh, wait, yeah. Yoshi in a very bad marketing. Albert Boris. Oh my god. That's so funny. Alright, anyways, that's all for me today. Hopefully there'll be more of this, and hopefully I'll get back myself and beat Recluse's ass in probably Monday night Eastern Time stream of the final part of the Brothership. So stay tuned for that. So this is all from Marcus, signing off, and we will see you in the next stream.